So, how to hold more? It's a great question because it doesn't matter what it is. Are you trying to hold more love, more joy, more orgasm, more money, more clients, more of anything? It's all rooted in power. So, today I'm going to talk about how we hold more, and it might be a little bit different than you think. Hello, hello. I am Alara Sage, the Oracle of Wealth and the founder of the Temple of Her, which I help women, female entrepreneurs, and visionaries to hold power, embody erotic wealth, and reign their soul-led empire. To hold more, this is power play. And understanding that in power, there are two archetypes, the Dom and the sub, dominant and the submissive. Now, I've already thrown out a couple of words that we have a lot of issue with. Power. We have a lot of issue with the word power because our society has been radically distorted in power. Dominate and submissive. These are words that trigger us. And so before I continue, I invite you to just notice if any of these words are like that cringe factor or causing your body to contract, because that's self-explanatory. We can have a very healthy relationship to power, to the dominant archetype of self and the submissive archetype of self. And none of this is about powering over other people, right? This is about empowerment, our own internal empowerment and the empowerment of self, which ultimately creates empowerment for others. When we empower ourselves, we help others to empower. That's the context through which I am using these words. Okay. So understanding the two types, the Dom and the submissive, how do you hold more? It's about really having a very clear relationship to yourself in these roles. I see a lot of female leaders who are very good in their Dom. And I'm not saying they have a healthy Dom, they just feel really comfortable there. They feel comfortable taking action, they feel comfortable penetrating their reality through doing and bringing their creative life force energy to others, right? Here you can have it, here you can have it, here you can have it, here everybody can have it, right? Let me give to you. Whereas the sub is all about receiving and about deep surrender. And this in and of itself, there are many layers to the way that we can really cultivate a deeper relationship to our sub within us. But if you are struggling to receive more, again, whatever that is, if that is money or intimacy or love or validation, then it's really about looking at your relationship to your sub and asking yourself, do you have a really healthy relationship with the way that you receive? And it's not just in, okay, I've received this. Thank you. It's actually in the process of receiving it. Because once we've received it, we've been penetrated. We've orgasmed, we've climaxed. That's actually not where the crux is. The crux, the edge of magnetism is in the process of receiving, the actual act of receiving. I hope that makes sense. So sexually, because this is a very good way to look at these power archetypes, is not just receiving somebody else giving you pleasure, but not climaxing, right? Being in the turn on, being in the tease for as long as possible. This is a very deep state of the sub and is deeply nourishing and very challenging for those female entrepreneurs who really hang out in Dom. They just want to get to the climax. They usually climax very easily. And it's just like, okay, there it is. Oh, orgasm, orgasm, orgasm. Great. And that's how they create the reality. They do go to the thing, they go to the thing, they go to the thing. Meanwhile, they're not really receiving to their full potential. Okay. So this is one of the biggest things I see is this learning how to extend the process of receivership. The other dynamic to this conversation is when you are in your dom, another way that I've seen a lot of female entrepreneurs have dysfunctional power relationships of self is that their dom just blows through boundaries. Right? Their dom isn't actually listening to those internal signals that are saying, I need rest. This is too much. I want to back off. I want to back off, right? The dom is just, you're just taking yourself there, orgasm, finishing, goal, succeeding, getting the thing, doing, and blowing through your own boundaries. And so there isn't a lot of trust there. And this is the real root wound around being submissive is you don't trust, because it takes a lot to maintain the field of submission. You have to be wildly open, wildly open. And I'm not talking about you're expressing verbally. I mean, you are energetically open. And most people don't feel comfortable with that because they don't trust themselves, because they've blown through their own boundaries. They haven't listened. Their dom hasn't listened. So they've actually become the perpetrator of themselves. So these are just a couple of examples of ways that we play these roles dysfunctionally. And then we struggle to hold, because ultimately it is power. And there is a mechanism within you that will not let you hold more power than you can hold, because it's very dangerous. Power is power. It is fire. It can like literally destroy ourselves and the universe. And so even if you receive money easily, but you don't receive love easily, right? So you can hold lots of money, but maybe you can't hold lots of love. It's still a power play. It doesn't matter what aspect of reality it's showing up for you. Your inability to hold wherever you're seeking to hold is this conversation of empowerment and the roles of power that you play with and of and to yourself. So being able to have these relationships with your dom and with your sub, understanding how they dance and when you are in more than of one than the other, and which one needs to be observed right now, and who needs to be heard, and where is that dance? Where is that next step for you? This is really understanding how to hold power for yourself. So I hope this has brought some clarity around why you struggle to hold more. Now, here's a question that comes in. Does it have to do with your nervous system? Because everybody says nervous system, nervous system, nervous system. And yes, to some degree, your nervous system does play a role in this, because if you have a highly dysregulated nervous system, you're going to be in states where you can't even have these conversations of power with yourself, because you are either in fight or flight, or you're in freeze and fawn. And neither one of those states of sympathetic nervous system allow you to have deep connection to the subtleties of these energies, of this power play of self. Okay. Now, it's not just the nervous system, because even if you regulate your nervous system, you're not meant to be in parasympathetic the whole time. Your nervous system is meant to move into different states of itself. It's not about keeping it in parasympathetic. It's about being able to feel it, to have a connection to your nervous system. Ah, I've gone into fight or flight. Ah, I've gone into freeze or fawn. What is going on here? What is the conversation I need to have with myself? That's what the nervous system is literally for. It's a signaling system to you. So when we are creating our reality and when we're playing with the concept of holding more, we have to edge ourselves. We have to walk to the edge of where comfort is. We all know this, right? In discomfort, that is where expansion occurs, right? We all know that it's in the discomfort, the edge where comfort and discomfort meet, that expansion occurs. So when you're wanting to hold more, whatever that is, You have to edge yourself there. You have to edge yourself to that discomfort, to where pain, pleasure meet. Okay. Now, this is where your nervous system will be triggered. You will go into other states of being, other states of the nervous system. So the question is not about not triggering your nervous system. It's about having a high vagal tone where you can quickly shift your nervous system back if you need to. But most importantly, it's actually about the awareness of what state of your nervous system you're in and what you need in that moment. So if you don't have this connection to your nervous system, you don't have this conversation going on in your nervous system, you'll hit that edge and you'll just retract. You'll either fight or flight yourself out of there, or you'll freeze and fawn yourself out of there. And you'll just kind of like keep circulating at this point, right at the edge, but not really diving into the edge because your nervous system won't let you. It'll keep taking you out of that state. Right. So, yes, having a healthy nervous system is absolutely important for this, having a high vagal tone. But I would say even more important, and what potentially you could say leads to a high vagal tone in your nervous system, is the self-awareness and the ability to communicate with your nervous system. So as you edge, as you hit that fear, right? As you start not feeling safe anymore, and your ego starts to feel unsafe, because this is what happens when we step into holding more, as we trigger our ego, who fundamentally fears death, then this is the place that you have to negotiate with yourself. And this right here at this edge is this very, very subtle dance of the Dom and Seb within you. So it's beautiful. And it's so delicious when you understand these roles and you get to play them with yourself. And, also if you take it sexually with your partner and all that, but this is really about you holding more and understanding that it is about these roles and absolutely about your nervous system and taking yourself to that edge, being able to be in that edge. This is how highly successful people become so successful, is they're able to hold that edge. Pretty profound, is it not? So I would love to hear any questions you have about how to hold more. Of course, you can always reach out to me. We can have these conversations on an energetic level. Not just conceptually, I can help you at an energetic level. Clarify your Dom, clarify your sub, and understand where is your weak, where is your most powerful, and what needs to be tweaked here. What do you need to do to have this deeper relationship with self?